Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Stable video. Now today I decided to do a training time, but basically bestie, it's like we're on FaceTime and I am not saying like Star Stable is shutting down particularly soon. They're probably not going to shut down for years, you know, right? Like, I mean, look at this game, you know, they added the new characters and stuff, but there are a few decisions that I've kind of not really, I don't know, like, I just really want to talk about them and, like, everything that Star Stable's done as a whole. Now, honestly, there is so much on this topic that I could talk about, so I could talk about it for hours, but today we are just going to do a 30 minutes. If you want me to talk about something specific or something different, definitely let me know in the comments down below, but without any further ado, bestie, let's get into it and kind of talk about what Star Stable is doing, what I agree with, what I don't necessarily agree with, and just, you know, talk about it, okay? And also feel free to train alongside me because there is a lot to talk about and we'll just have to see. So first of all, I want to start by mentioning how all of the most recent quote-unquote content for the updates we've gotten, like, you know, we have Winter Village, right? That's a yearly update. We expect it. We know it. It's a guarantee. So around the time of winter, December, you know, we get the Winter Village, we get Equestrian Festival. At the beginning of summer, we're now getting Camp Western. Near the end of summer, you know, we get Halloween. These are all guaranteed seasonal updates that a lot of players come back for. Now, Star Stable has technically been adding content to these updates since the Winter Village one. The Halloween one we could talk about, and we probably will because that's a whole nother situation. But specifically I guess we should start with Halloween. So first of all, basically what Star Stable did during Halloween 2023 is in 2022, they're like, oh, you know, the tornadoes are leaving. There's gonna be like so much more content, girlies, so much more content. Oh my gosh, guys, like so much more content. This is insane. What? No more soul shards? What? Oh, that's crazy. And then none of that happens. And I mean, for good reason, they were focusing on the Hollow Woods update. That was a pretty nice update. But at the same time, like, girl, that was a full seasonal update and it was just a repeat of last year's. And I know Star Stable for the longest time has just been, you know, like repeating past updates. But they did take out a ton of these seasonal updates that they used to repeat. For example, Midsummer, that was such a fun little update that I know a lot of Star Stable players really, really loved. And it was like centered around Sweden, which is where Star Stable's from, which is why I literally loved Midsummer. Like, I thought that was so fun to experience, like, you know, like a Jorvik tradition and something like that, even though it's a Swedish tradition too, but you get what I mean, bestie. Like, Jorvik had these little kind of traditions. There was other updates. There was Fortuna, there was Galentine's, previously Valentine's that they took out. There was April Fool's, which by the way was so much fun. If they kept the April Fool's update for like a week, I feel like players would love that still. And also, I'm waiting for the April Fool's, on a side note, but I'm waiting for the April Fool's where they say, oh, you can play Old Star Stable for a day, but we know that's never gonna happen. No. Anyways, so moving on, you know, they took away all of these like mini seasonal updates that sure were just copy paste of previous years, but I know a lot of older players or players that have been playing for a long time really, really love them, and new players didn't get to experience them yet. And with the Halloween update, they're like, oh yeah, we're doing all this, and then they just didn't do it and kind of forgot about it. I mean, what's that about? Of course there's the Hollow Woods update, but what's next? And then the winter update. So this is the next seasonal update after the Halloween update we had in 2023. I know, again, Star Stable was working on a lot of bigger updates, so we have to keep that in mind and give them a little, you know, room to breathe because coding a game is a very big task. But at the same time, can we talk about the grind quests? Oh my gosh, this is, OMG, like, ew, oh my gosh, they're adding quote-unquote content to the quest, and this was after the Hollow Woods update. Okay, I need to get my train of thought together because I am just so, like, there's so much to say about this because really, 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 18K snowflakes to bring back color and like a few pieces of a set. Maybe a full set, I don't remember. I think it was a full set actually, and that set was really, really cute. But the items were so dispersed, and at the beginning, you had to get like 1,000 freaking snowflake magics for an apple. I'm not kidding, the rewards were literally like 3 apples, 10 horse XP. Oh yeah, you know, let's just sprinkle some. Oh, you get 20 player XP, huh? Like, girl, you want me to work a full-time job on a horse game for 20 XP? 20! Like, oh my gosh, the rewards were not it. And I feel like Star Stable thought, oh my gosh, this is such a great idea, guys. Guess what? The players loved the Hollowoods update. So they're going to love a seasonal update where you have to log in every single day over the holidays when people either work, go to school, or literally travel to meet with family for this set. And have to log on like basically every single day to get it, or play for like hours straight for 1 or 2 days just doing the same thing over and over again. Like, yes, players love the Hollowoods update. Okay, that was fun. That was brand new content where Star Stable introduced the Royal High grind to the game, if you know what I mean. Royal High, you have to work so hard for those diamonds. But they introduced that, and that's a cool aspect because that is a permanent aspect to the game. You know, your hard work is not in vain. Now, this isn't to say that next year maybe players who collected 18K will start off further, and then they'll like just increase the number of snowflakes you need to 25K. Maybe they'll take it away entirely, maybe they'll add something new. You know, that's not to say none of that won't happen, but the Hollowoods update is permanent, you know? So if I collect 100 fireflies, those 100 fireflies, they ain't leaving me. They are not going nowhere, and I could spend them on rewards for like cute wigs, cute makeup, you know, like get rewards that make it easier to grind and to further progress in my endeavors when it comes to firefly collection. But the snowflakes, they made it not easier at all. If you got 10K, you were no more well off than someone who got 18K or someone that got 1K. You know, you just have to keep going around, collect them, chase. And they did try to make it easier by adding those little events. Like, oh, the gnome will pop out of the ground, you know, and that'll give you like so much more. And then it was like 5 more, and it's like a rare event. Like, girl, you have to understand, permanent grind updates make more sense in my opinion because it gets more players, like, you know, you're not losing the progress. But now, we have no guarantee where your snowflake magic went for 18K. I mean, yes, you got the rewards, but I was not doing that. I was not doing all that. That was too extra for me, and I feel like it's too extra for a lot of other players. If you did do that, I am literally like, congratulations, girly, because that was hard work. 18K winter little snowflakes just to get a set, and like, that was like, it wasn't 1 snowflake counts for 5, it was 1 snowflake counts for 1! Oh my gosh. And with like 4 or 5 weeks, I think it was like 5 weeks to complete that. That was crazy. Okay, like, yes, that's new content, but we want fun horse equestrian based content, and that will bring me into another point later on that I will literally rant about too. This is literally just a video about me ranting. But next, I want to talk about something else that happened during the Winter Village update, and that was the Star Coins code. Now, I was away when this whole debacle took place in Star Stable, you know. It was definitely a drama. But, I mean, for good reason. Every single year, Star Stable has given us a Star Coins code, and yes, it's 300 Star Coins, but to a lot of players, that's like 300 Star Coins. You know, Star Coins are not cheap at all. So 300 Star Coins is a big difference, and a lot of players are counting on it to, like, get the new horses, limited edition horses, you know, and they've been doing this since they came out in 2011, 2012, maybe, I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that, but at least 5 years, you know, since I've been around. Every single year, we've gotten a Star Coins code. during the winter festival. Also, why is there no players at Steve? That is kind of scaring me. But it was, another guarantee. Well, this year, instead of that, we got a Yeti pet. Which, yes, I do love the Yeti pet. He is unique. He is gorgeous. He is a Yeti. Yeah, I mean, compared to the other pets in game, I think we'll get big dogs soon, but that's another topic we could talk about on the update Star Stable said they add later on. But we got a Yeti pet instead of a Star Queen's code. Now, I love the Yeti pet, right? There's nothing wrong with him. He is a great gift to get under the tree. But the problem was, a lot of players were counting on the 300 Star Queen's code, and it wasn't until Star Stable saw like all the players were mad and stuff that they gave it. And this is why, hear me out, this is why I think the Star Coins code, we were actually 100% not going to get it this year. And the Yeti pet was supposed to be a substitute for that. So basically, the Yeti pet, I think, was released on the 25th, so Christmas. And the Star Coins code was supposed to be released during the 25th, but it wasn't. And here is what I think Star Stable should have done, okay? If they wanted to be a little sneaky, and I would give them the pass for this, okay? They could have changed the 31st December 31st gift to the Star Coins code, and then be like, oh, it was guaranteed all along, it was a New Year's gift and we wanted to give the pet out on Christmas. I would have waited. Personally, if I was on Star Stable, I would have waited. I saw that the players were angry and I don't know, I was forced not to give them a Star Coins code or something. I would have waited until the 31st and been like, oh yeah, it was guaranteed all along. But they did not do that. They released the Star Coins code on, I think it was a random day, maybe the 27th. I don't know particularly what the day was, but it made no sense, okay? It was just there, and clearly the effort was put in to swap one of the previous gifts that was already there with the Star Coins code since players were so mad. It could not be more blatantly obvious, Star Stable. We know you added it in because the players were mad. It was not there all along. If you did the 31st, now, see, I could give you a little leeway on that as a market, but that makes sense because they could have been like, oh, it was just for the New Year's, you guys just didn't get it yet. But no, they didn't do that. Clearly, they just added it and swapped out one of the 2,000 Jorvik shillings gifts with this Star Coins code because the players were getting mad, it is just so obvious that we were not going to get a Star Coins code this year until players and the community kind of started spreading the message. But yeah, that is why I think that happened, and clearly not too good, not a good look, especially during the holidays, Oh, also, when it comes to Star Coins, there is such a big opportunity here. Okay, there is such a big opportunity that Star Stable is missing out on, I think, and that is the ability to earn Star Coins in-game. Now, for most other games, some, not most, but some, there is an aspect to the game where, there's this currency in game where, you usually have to pay for it. It's pretty expensive, so you don't want to. But there's still a way to get it in game. It's just very tedious and you only get a little amount. But that little amount for the players that, join the game, play it, literally grind. If you want players to grind Star Stable, make them have a way to earn Star Coins. It's that easy. Players would love, I would personally love, I think Abigail Pinehaven mentioned this in one of her videos before, and this was such a cute idea. You pay other players to train your horses for you instead of the horse trainer, okay? And maybe a little marketplace where you could put up, I need a horse trainer, and pay 1 star coin every level, but it's still 1 star coin every level to the player that is training the horse, or maybe 2 star coins after level 10, or 5 star coins after level 10. But players are, still buying the star coins, but for the players that have more time and not money for the star coins, then it's a win-win in both situations. Players can get their horses trained, and stuff like that, and players can earn star coins. And I personally would love to grind on Star Stable if there was more incentive. Okay, we are missing the incentive. 18,000 snowflakes for color back and maybe a small measly set. It's cute, but do I really have the time of day to spend like 8 to 12 hours doing that? I don't think so, and I don't think a lot of players have that either. Okay, like school alone is 8 hours a day. Anyways, but yeah, that is such a great idea. It doesn't even have to be that. It could be like a way to earn star coins in game that's different, but I definitely feel like that would be a bigger incentive for players. You get the playtime, and you also get the players online playing actively like playing and stuff, and you act like active, and the players that, you know, you're paying, you know, it's just a great trade-off. So I really like that idea. Another idea is, or something I want to talk about, is level 15. When your horse reaches level 15, what do you get? Seriously, like, other than championships and, like, a faster horse, I think they actually cap it at level 13 now, how fast your horse can be, so it doesn't even matter if you get it to level 15 other than for the golden nameplate. Like, yes, the horse progression little, like, training thing is great, but my level 15 horses are literally rotting unless I have a cute outfit for them. So, like, what are we doing there? What are we doing there? Okay, I feel like another great thing that you could do is maybe introduce a marketplace for those level 15 horses where players can sell maybe a little bit cheaper their horses at level 15 to other players, and the players would get them back at level 0 or something. Or, you know, just another feature where players can, like, maybe trade their level 15 horses. Maybe you could gift level 15 horses. Like, I know there's the aspect of, if hackers get your account, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I think that's pretty rare. I think that's pretty rare, okay? And Star Stable should have good security if they are a game of this caliber. And, you know, have that. I don't know. I feel like they could do it if they wanted to, okay? If he wanted to, he could. If he wanted to, he could. That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't even have to be, if Star Stable's actually scared of hackers and everything like that, then, you know, maybe just gameplay, something special that you and your horse could do at level 15. Like, I don't know. I feel like that would be really, really nice, and just add some incentive to get your horse to level 15 again, because that's what we're missing. A drive, a motivation, a will. You know, we're just missing something like that to the game. And I feel like level 15 or little money, little star coins every now and then for different things that players do would be really, really helpful and engage players a lot more than they currently are. Okay, like a lot more. Okay. Next, another thing on the aspect of the star coins code, actually, I forgot to mention this then, but the random tests, I also missed this because I was actually away, but the random, like, star coin tests in shop, there's now an option for Star Rider, they're testing this, an option for Star Rider that doesn't get a weekly allowance for cheaper. Like, oh, like, yes, that is a good idea, but I don't know if that's, you know, I don't know if that's where you want to spend your time, Star Stable. You know, like, you have so many hours in a workday for progressing this game, right? And I feel like we should put that towards more equestrian-based gameplay features instead of a cheaper option for Star Rider. Like, it's a great game, and Star Rider is so worth it, and I feel like an option without weekly allowance is good, but, again, kind of weird that that's just there, in my opinion. Kind of weird. Like, what do players do if they buy it and then they decide, oh, I want weekly allowance now? Are you just like, oh, you can't get it. Sorry, you need a new account. Like, ooh, oopsie. Like, what do you do then? Or what if the players that bought the more expensive option and don't want it? Like, I don't know. That's just a little strange. But I feel like that's not the problem. That's a good idea in and of itself, but that's not where you need to be spending your time. That's not where you need to be spending your money right now, okay? No. I feel like another great aspect of the game that Star Stable should really, really focus on, spend some time on, kind of develop, is riding clubs, okay? This is a great centerpiece to the game. It is player-based right now. Other than a little shiny name tag and maybe the clubhouse, what do you get for being in a club? I feel like, you know, it's not really, there's no structure by Star Stable. The players are structuring, you know, the meets, the Discord meetups, the calls, you know, the players are doing all that, the dressage moves, the blah, 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 little la, la, la. You know, the players are doing all that. But what if Star Stable introduced something where maybe you could, like, spend 100 star coins or like 50 star coins to have a competition with another club, and or send a competition invite to another club, and then the club sees the competition invite in like a special tab or like, you know, your mailbox or something. So they see that invite and they're like, oh yes, I do accept. So that club spends like 50 star coins to accept. So each club, you have them 50 star coins spending, 50 star coins accepting. And then there's like a dressage, you know, race or something, or like, you know, how I'm training right now, this is cross country. So you could have like a cross country event where all players would be put against another player from the team that's online. So one club versus another club, or like all at once, and the most players that get there at the end of the race faster, they get like some star coins, like each player gets 5 star coins for winning or something. I don't know, it doesn't even have to include star coins, okay? That's just a separate idea I had randomly. It could just be like, invite this club to a competition, yes or no, and then the club accepts, and it's like, yes, that's more fun, and adds a more like a layer to the club experience. I feel like if we got clubs interacting with one another, or just some more club-based centric activities, like maybe add some dressage in the riding arena, like would you like to start a group race? Would you like to start a club race? Would you like to start a club dressage practice and there's like some moves or something like that? I feel like that would be really nice. And also, in the riding arena, since most clubs use that, I don't know, these are just some random ideas I'm putting out there for the club aspect of things. But since there's that, maybe like club leaders, you know, they can hide certain people, they could like, kind of like Zoom, put players in breakout rooms or something, or like talk over with them. I don't know, I feel like we definitely need to be spending more time, more energy on that, because clubs are great, maybe more time, more energy on roleplay, but honestly, I feel like we have a lot of things for roleplay right now. If you have any roleplay ideas, let me know in the comments. I mean, in terms of like, what Star Stable should add, other than like more, you know, like lunging your horse, more animations and stuff. I don't really, you know, see that, but roleplay is another very like centric aspect of the game that gets people engaged, gets people playing. I know I really like to do it like, you know, a couple years ago, and a lot of players really like roleplay, wild roleplay, you know, like it's just really nice. And I feel like that would be great if also there's more collaboration among players. Like a group, they used to have these little races where you could collect flags, but it didn't give you any XP. So maybe we could introduce some more collaborative based things, because the clubs, again, the community is already there. The players are doing the hard work. All you need to do is kind of give them something. Just give them a little something to work with, and that will just make all the difference. I know, especially for clubs who put in like the hours, the hard work, you know, like everything is already there. It is served on a silver plate for Star Stable. They just need to take it, some ideas that maybe the community has for how they can develop the clubs, or, you know, develop groups, develop, you know, something else, and make it more entertaining, more gameplay, more features. You know, I feel like that would really kind of revive the spirit a little bit. Okay, moving on, there is so much more I want to talk about, but next we are going to talk about the most recent huge updates, specifically the character update. You know, long awaited. Star Stable has been saying they've been planning doing this character update for so long, a couple years now. You know, we had the beta tests, we had the second beta test that actually didn't go through at all and failed. Okay, I need a sip of water. This is like, okay. Refreshing. Okay, anyways, but through my Stanley, yes, I know. Okay, like, it's a really good water bottle, girly. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought the hype wasn't worth it, but I love it. I love it. My one. I love it. Alright, anyways, that's a side note, but the character update, you know, it's been long awaited. Very, very long awaited. And it's good. I mean, yes, the visuals are aesthetically pleasing to new players and everything like that. It's very nice. I love it. I mean, there's some aspects that I think should be changed about it. But overall, I mean, the aesthetics, everyone agrees, the aesthetics are a lot more smooth than they were before. Just in terms of if you didn't know Star Stable and you joined, no, not even joined, you saw a picture and you're like, oh, okay, I mean, I guess the graphics make sense with this game. But I mean, the character update in and of itself, I could talk about that for a whole video because, I mean, there is things I like, things I don't like about it, where I think Star Stable went wrong with it, what I think they should have improved about it, but we're not talking about that. We're talking like base level. Yes, it's nice not to see the crusties from an outside perspective, but that's not the problem. The problem is the character update. Okay, first of all, we know it took years, right? Like, they spent so much time on this update alone. And we know that, you know, if you've been around Star Stable, or if you haven't even, you know, it took years to get this in game. We're not going to talk about how the animations don't even work yet, how there's a lot we don't have yet, you know, like a lot that was promised that we don't have yet, and we have no timeline for it. But we're not going to talk about that. Again, base level, okay? I'm trying not to get off topic here, talking about the characters, because there's so much I can talk about when it comes to that. But base level, this is a horse game. And that's great. I love, that is literally so, I don't know how you say it, niche or niche. That is perfection. I feel like this game is so good at its core, and there's just so much potential there. At its core, there is so much potential. Like, again, I could talk about the potential of Star Stable for hours, but the character update, you spent so much time, so much money, so much just, you know, focus on this one thing that wasn't the central aspect of the game. The central aspect of the game is horses, horse gameplay, equestrianism, you know, maybe instead of the character update, first, you know, have that on the back burner, have that on the back of your mind. That's a great idea, you know, to make it aesthetically pleasing and whatnot. But first, maybe we could have focused on equestrian gameplay, okay? There is no game like Star Stable, okay? I'm just gonna say it. Like, yes, there are a few equestrian games, but on MMO RPG type level, this massive, I don't think so. I mean, actually, Roblox games are pretty good these days, like, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, just relatively, Star Stable, yes, is the biggest horse game so far, but they're not doing anything with that potential of horses. Like, yes, they added lunging. Oh, I opened chat. But yes, they added lunging for a little bit. Yes, they added that dressage race for a little bit. We're not seeing the permanent addition of that to the game. Also, like, what can you do with horses, Star Stable? There is a massive amount of things. Maybe you could introduce trail rides. Like, yes, you post on your Instagram, follow this trail ride, but most players don't have Instagram, or most players aren't looking on Instagram for that, and like don't want to do a trail ride alone. Maybe you could tie some clubs into that. Maybe, you know, you could breed horses. Again, that would be so good. You know, there's so much you could do with the horse aspect of the game, which is why players signed up. We all share a mutual love for horses. You know, like, Jorvik's great. It's literally a place where horses roam, and you can only ride a horse. There are basically no cars other than Jorvik City, maybe the Baroness, a little every there, but you don't see cars, like, daily, you know? It's a horse game. It's a horse game. So where's the horse content? That is what I'm saying. Where is the horse content? All these players love horses, okay? And we love horses. How many times do I have to say this? So introduce equestrian-based activities first. Introduce some, you know, different type of gameplay that we haven't seen yet when it pertains to horses. The idea of breeding was great. The idea of a personal paddock was great. But where is it? Where is it? Was it delayed because of the character update? Or was it just not on your mind because of the character update? Character update is aesthetics. We wanted the core update first. I feel like Star Stable would have done, like, a lot would be great if Star Stable focused on adding core gameplay features, building that equestrian aspect to the game, building things that you could do with your horse, building the horse personality. Okay, that is great. When I think horse personality, I think two roads. A, we choose it, or B, I feel like we'll get to choose it, so don't worry. Or B, in Animal Jam, when you buy a pet, it comes with a predetermined personality, and I feel like maybe you can unlock the personality as you train it. For example, your horse comes with a predetermined personality that's kind of more quote-unquote difficult to work with. So maybe your horse is stubborn, maybe it is skittish, maybe it's more scared. But then the more you train your horse, and maybe Star Stable adds like sensitivity training to the game, where you like walk around your horse, invite your friends to walk around your horse, brush your horse, you know, or like, oh, they could also do that with the horses in the wild that are cheaper. That is a great aspect. I love that, where you train your horse kind of like you did Spirit. And maybe when you, like, tame the horse, maybe give players one free wild horse that they could get other than the Rune Runner, where the gameplay is completely separate. For example, you see this horse in the wild, you have to do the Spirit things, like, you know, when I say Spirit things, you approach it, you have a mini quest, and then you have to wait until it appears again to do the reputation again, and then you could buy it. But maybe we get that for free, and that is like your sole horse. Maybe your starter horse is not your sole horse, but maybe this horse you see in the wild is, and maybe at the beginning of the game you take a quiz like what type of horses do you like, and it's not until you're level 20 or something that you meet your soul horse. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is lore, but I'm not ready to talk about that yet. I want to continue talking about these equestrian aspects that I think Star Stable could add. Again, this is just like random brainstorming ideas that I have. It's nothing permanent, nothing, you know, I feel, again, you just amass this like amazing community of people that love horses, so can we focus on the horses? Okay, it's not like, you know, character customization, again, is great, but I'm not going in every day like it's a fashion game and changing my wig, changing my eyebrows. Ooh, gotta make sure my eyebrows are on fleek. What eyebrows did you get today, Patricia? Oh, you got the big ones where I shaved mine down. Look at me, I'm wearing green contacts now. Like, no. Like, yes, I love the more customization, but that's not what we needed to focus on, okay? If it was modeling, if it was a little, like, fantasy little princess game like Royal High, I just have to shout out Royal High, like, I love it so much. Anyways, but if it was like that, then yes, I see why character customization would be a huge deal to the game, because players are, you know, constantly going to be interacting with it, constantly going to be changing their, adding freckles, constantly, you know, changing their lipstick, their wigs, you know, it's great. But it's kind of a one and done thing, like the character update happened and like now it's done. I don't see players going to their home stable and being like, where's my wig, where's my wig? Like, no. I change my wig every few months. I'm not going in every single day. Also, where are the more hairstyles you promised? Where are the more? I know you're working on them, but girl, you giving me no crumbs to work with. Which also leads me into the next thing I wanted to talk about. Star Stable said, when my Instagram wasn't banned and I actually had access to it, girl, how do I get it back? Anyways, I'm trying. Anyways, that's another topic, another story time. So many story times. But another thing is, basically, wait, I don't want to go to the Golden Leaf. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they said, oh, look out for the blog post in December, or the end of the year blog post where we're gonna talk about the upcoming updates. Where is that? Where is that? Star Stable usually gives us it, like, a few weeks after the winter update, and I think it's going to be released at the end of January, but it better be in depth. That's what I'm saying. It better be in depth. But where is that? Where are the future updates? Right now we're running through the fog like we're in Silent Hill because we have no clue what the future updates are. You just gave us like a bunch of dispersed, oh yeah, we're gonna add personalities to your horses, we're gonna add like a little breeding, we're gonna add like this, like, but where's the progress? You know, like, are you actually working on it? Did you scrap the idea, like, furniture? What's going on there? What's going on with home stable decorations? Which, again, is not horse-based, so I feel like they should add that after. I feel like players really need some more incentive for level 15 horses, some more just lunging, if they even added permanent lunging, permanent dressage, even just that little crumb, little salt, little snippet, that would be great. But yeah, what is upcoming right now? It is the start of the new year. You have a bunch of new players, presumably, that have gotten Star Rider over Christmas, and the first thing you introduce them to is a quest that they can't play because they have to be level 20 to play it. Like, what? You have new players. It was just the holidays. People gift things, so I'm sure a few of besties got a little, like, Star Rider subscription or something. Where's the content for them? Why would they want to continue playing if they're like, oh, this game updated the main quest line? Like, yes, we love the main quest line, but I feel like you should be doing that later on, and you should focus centrally main updates around January and, again, the end of school. January and the end of school, I feel like, would be great. But especially now, because new players would be feeling like they're a part of something, like, oh, I got to log on and experience this update right away. Like, it's not fun for them. Also, we're getting measly updates right now. Like, I'll be the one to say it. What are these? Not the quest. The quest was good. I'm just salty because I can't play it because I hate Reputation. But the quest was good. But in terms of, like, new players, like, when things should be released on their timeline, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing their thought process behind it. I'm not seeing it. But, another thing I want to talk about is the lore. First of all, you're introducing brand new... Okay, I wasn't done talking about that last thing. Ow. Oh my god, I slapped my face. Oops. But yeah, I feel like, again, you have new players now. Impress them. Impress them. And give it's a fresh year. Give some motivation to log on, maybe, because the winter update was there. Now we're in this kind of like dry spell stretch where the seasonal players don't want to log on because there's nothing until Equestrian Festival. And they're expecting that with no fresh horse-based gameplay. But again, I feel like that's fine because that is not a permanent update. I'm talking about we want core permanent horse-based updates. Not only dressage at Equestrian Festival, not, like breeding. We want breeding in a game. Maybe you could sell the foals for star coins. Maybe, you get some rare horses or something. Maybe we want coat clippings. We want horses, okay? We want. We want. All right. Leading into the next topic that I forgot. Oh yeah, the lore. I was gonna start my rant about the lore. Again, video in and of itself. This video is just encapsulating kind of everything I've had my mind on for a little bit. The lore, okay? Actually, I'm at a great spot to start this conversation because the fridge doors. Oh, okay, for a second I thought they were gone and I was gonna start my rant. But the fridge doors, these spark interest, these spark curiosity, these spark a little bit of scariness behind the depth of it all. A lot of old players liked the kind of, mysterious aspect laying around Jorvik. Where is that mystery? Where is that vibe? We want the mystery. We want a horse game, but with a little bit of chaos underneath when you unsurface the levels. We don't want, like, oh, little lake, oh my gosh, GED, oh, you so silly, stop that GED, stop trying to take my land. Oh, you want me to stop taking your land? Well, do something about it. Ah, huzzah, you stop taking land, like, la, la, la. Oh, okay, I'll stop taking the land. And then, a few weeks later, oh my gosh, you're taking the land, stop. Like, bruh. I mean, at the beginning, the quests were the same, so I can't really be talking about that. The quests are good. I love the GED quests. It's not what I'm complaining about. What I'm complaining about is the mystery, the fridge doors. We need these Easter eggs. Great. I love, like, the Easter eggs that games leave players developing theories. Like Marchingast Castle that, when the Marwaris were going to release, everyone was like, oh my gosh, Marchingast Castle is going to be releasing, and it didn't. So what's the theory behind, maybe you could add some, like, dialogue, some little, like, hide in a piece of hay, because I know the hay bales you could go through some of them. Hide, like, a note saying, come find me, I'm lost, or, like, and date it from 2000 or something, like, add that little bit of mystery. I feel like older players would really, really like that kind of not surface level, kind of more theory creating, got you thinking type of little, it doesn't even have to be quests, okay? It just has to be kind of things that aren't what they seem, or some depth to the game, because the lore it doesn't even have to pertain to the lore. It just has to be like a little bit creepy, yes. Like the fridge doors, they are a little bit creepy, and players have theories about them. There's videos about the theories on them, you know, that keeps players engaged, keeps players thinking. So maybe hide some stuff, maybe, you know, just develop the depth of the Easter eggs, make it really well thought out, give them reason to visit Doyle's Abbey, give them reason to visit this little cage, maybe, you know, just add a layer of different feelings into the game. Right now I feel like it's really lighthearted, really nice, yay, like I love a lighthearted game, I love Star Stable, I love its vibe, it's a new vibe, but I love it nonetheless. But it doesn't have to be one vibe. Players can make the game whatever vibe they want. You just have to give them something to work with. Like the fridge doors, that's a little bit creepy, you know, add a little sizzle, spice, everything nice every now and again. And develop the Easter eggs, develop, you know, the theories that players could have. Just make it open-ended is what I'm saying. Like, the quests are great, but they're not really open-ended. Like, you know, like we have to wait a while to get them. We want other things that we could think about between that, you know, like, oh, this chicken's lost. I don't know, I'm coming up with things because I see chickens right now, but, oh, I wonder who placed this here. Is it like a bear trap? Who placed that there? You know, like, just a layer of creepiness is really what we're missing. Okay, I said it, but I know a lot of older players are missing, or players that have been playing for a while have been missing that kind of more mysterious vibe. Another thing, I feel like it might have to do with graphics, because those old Barbie horse games always had that super creepy, super mysterious vibe, and I feel like it's kind of a nostalgic vibe for these older games to have, because I played the Barbie games and I used to be so scared of them. There was nothing surface level scary about them, but they were scary. Like, you were alone in this open-ended world. It felt like someone was watching. There was a layer of mystery to it, like, oh, who stole Teresa's horse? You know, why would they do that? And it was really open-ended, in terms of theories that you could create, and I feel like, oh, my voice is like, oh my gosh, I had to take another drink of water, but that I feel would be great is just, you know, leave a hidden message, leave a note on maybe a fridge in a house, leave, like, the words, help me, like, I don't know, girl, I don't know, but, you know, these little, like, maybe have an inscription. I know there's one tree that has an inscription for Anne. I think it was Anne, I'm not too sure, but, like, 2 people, and there was a heart. Like, that was so cute, and I love that. I love those little Easter eggs. It gets players interested, curious, definitely keeps the curiosity going. Like, it doesn't even have to be creepy even. It just has to be something that players feel special, and, like, when they find it, they're like, oh my gosh, guys, this was here, and none of us noticed. You know, like, I feel like it would make you feel special if you're running around for hours and then you stumble upon a hidden piece of the lore that you haven't before, and that's been there the entire time, and you're like, oh my gosh, when, like, this changes everything. Like, wow, even if it is just a heart in the wood of a tree, like, you know, it's just great to find those little Easter eggs in games. But the lore itself, like, I'm not too good on the lore, so I can't really speak about it, but if you want to rant in the comments about the lore, let me know. If you do like it, let me know. I feel like, it's kind of weird that we got the 5th Soul Rider introduced, and then, we don't see her until the end of the game, because you see her at the beginning, but then, you know, Star Stable already pre-built all these quests, and then we see her at the end of the game. Like, that's great. I love her. She's great. But, again, can we focus, please, on equestrianism? Can we please focus on this? And I know you're a magical game, and quests are a huge part of it, but there is also this happy kind of, like, Jorvik horse riding world that a lot of players, again, spend the majority of their time in, because quests only take so long. One and done, boom, pow, bam, you know, like, once you do the quest, there's not much to eat left on that plate. Other than reputation, which honestly I have not been doing because I don't see the point of it. And, like, also here's another great example of what you could do. Another great example of what I would love to see in game is new areas but make them more creepy, like open this, the quest to open that, make it like, you know, more, not creepy, but like more embedded into the game. Like I know in Mistfall there's a random, you can't pass this signs and stuff like that. Like that would be great. That would personally be great. But again, yeah, I feel like we need to be focusing on not making new players and not adding new Dark Riders, in my opinion, and maybe focus on some gameplay. Like, we loved Hollow Woods, it's great, and that pertains to the magical aspect of the game. So now we need some horse-based aspect of the game, if you know what I mean. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this was literally just me ranting about, or like talking about all of the updates and where I think Star Stable could do better, where I think they went wrong, everything, just kind of my brain dump. So if you like these type of training videos, let me know in the comments down below, because I have so much more I could talk about. But if you have any specific topics you'd like to hear my opinion on or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below as well. But I hope you have a great day, and if any of this, if you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. But again, this was just like a brain dump, so really I have no clue what I said. But one thing kind of led into another, because there's just so much that I could cover, and honestly, I could talk about this for a full day. So let me know what you think, and as always, I hope you have a great day. I currently have a free 10,000 star coin code in the comment. No, not in the comments, in a video, so go check that out, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, bestie. Have a great day, and let me know what you think of these types of videos if you want to see more. Bye-bye.